Hello students, can you imagine how cold earth would be if there would be no sun? The sun is the main source of heat on earth. Only little of sun's heat is able to reach the earth. However, it is enough to sustain life. Other sources of heat are fire and electricity. In this lesson, we will study about heat and methods of transfer of heat. So first you should know what is heat. Heat is actually a form of energy. A form of energy where it is transferred from one substance or one medium to another. Anything that gives off heat is called source of heat. Anything that gives off heat is called source of heat. Man can generate heat by burning wood, coal, or gas. And these sources of heat are called fuels. Electricity also gives heat. Even by rubbing two surfaces, heat can be generated. For example, if we rub our palms, after some time we will feel the warmth. Similarly, by rubbing or striking two stones against each other, fire can be generated which gives heat. In our daily life, we come across a number of objects. Some of them are hot and some of them are cold. Example, tea or milk is hot and ice is cold. Some objects are hotter than others and some are colder than others. When heat energy flow from our body rapidly or more, we feel cold. And its reverse, when heat energy flow from outside to our body, we feel hot. That is why when we stand outside in sunlight, we feel hot. It is the flow of heat that determines whether the object is cold or hot. It means when heat is flowing from it, flowing out of it, then the object is hot. And when heat is flowing inside it, the object is cold. Now, what is going to decide the direction of heat flow? So, the direction is always from hot to cold. And one simple activity you can do, you keep a glass full of hot milk in a bowl containing cold water and dip your finger. After some time, you again dip your finger, then you can see the difference. First, when you dip the finger in hot milk, you feel the hotness and the water was cold at that time. But after 10-15 minutes, you will find that the same hot milk is now no more hot. Similarly, the same cold water is no more that cold. So we cannot always, we actually generally decide which object is hotter than other by touching the objects. But it is not always correct, because our sense of touch may lead to some injury also. That is why the hotness of an object is measured by its temperature. So temperature is measure of the degree of hotness of an object. It means a hot body is at higher temperature, whereas a cold body is at lower temperature. Means more the temperature, more hot the object is. Now, how we will measure this temperature? So temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. Temperature is measured by a device called thermometer. So there are two types of thermometers. One is clinical thermometer and other is laboratory thermometer. Clinical thermometer is also known as doctor's thermometer because it is used by doctors to measure our body temperature. On your screen you can see three thermometers. The top one is showing something like 35, 36, 37. 37 is in red color because it is the normal human body temperature. And the bottom one is also same, but the middle one is showing something different. It is showing 94, 95, 96, 100 and 106, and F is mentioned over it because there are two scales on which temperature can be measured. First is Celsius scale and second is Fahrenheit scale. Both these names are given in respect of the scientist named Fahrenheit and Celsius who contributed to thermodynamics. Thermodynamics means the study of heat. So Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale. Then one more term is there. No, one more. On your screen you can see digital thermometers. Nowadays we are commonly using these thermometers because these are very handy and easy to use. Just keep the tip of it in your mouth and switch on and you will get the reading within 1 minute. So these are more handy, more easy to use. Now question arises how we can measure the temperature. So on your screen you can see the clinical thermometer, and if you see, you can see that there is a round head like structure which is called bulb, and this bulb is filled with a shiny substance called mercury. So mercury is a metal which is in liquid form and it is very sensitive. It means if there is slight change in the temperature, mercury level will rise or fall accordingly. So the thermometer that measures the temperature of our body is called clinical thermometer. It is made up of glass and has a long narrow glass tube. It has a bulb at one end containing mercury, and it has a scale called Celsius scale marked in degrees Celsius, and as I told you, one more scale is there that is called Fahrenheit scale. And now one more term is there that is called range of thermometer. So range means the minimum and maximum temperature that a thermometer can read is called its range. So in Fahrenheit scale, the range of clinical thermometer is 95 degree Fahrenheit to 107.6 Fahrenheit. I repeat, On Fahrenheit scale, the range of thermometer is 95 Fahrenheit to 107.6 degree Fahrenheit. It means the minimum temperature that it can measure is 95 degree Fahrenheit and the maximum is 107.6 degree Fahrenheit. The normal human body temperature is 98.6 Fahrenheit. That is why when you run by fever, your mother says 102 degree Fahrenheit, 102 degree बुखार. Similarly, on Celsius scale, the range is 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. It means minimum temperature that can be measured by clinical thermometer is 35 degrees Celsius, whereas the maximum temperature is 42 degrees Celsius. Then the clinical thermometer has a small kink. You can see one constriction at the end near bulb. This constriction is called kink. And this kink is there to prevent the mercury level from falling down. The normal human body temperature in Celsius scale is 37 degrees Celsius. Now, as I told you, nowadays we are using digital thermometers which are very easy to use. But if you are using a clinical thermometer, then there are certain things which one has to keep in mind while using it. So first thing is that since while taking the reading, you need to keep the thermometer in your mouth, that is why it should be properly clean. That is why it is advised always to wash the thermometer after and before its use with an antiseptic solution. Then hold it firmly and give it few jerks to bring the level of mercury below 35 degrees Celsius. Then place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue. Even it can be placed under your armpits and leave it there for 1 minute, and after 1 minute take it out and note the reading. So this will be your body temperature. So this is how we can measure the temperature of human body by using a clinical thermometer. Next comes laboratory thermometer. It means the thermometer which is used to measure the temperature of objects other than human body is called laboratory thermometer. If you compare the two thermometers, you can see that some similarities and some differences are there. What are those similarities? Similarities are that both these thermometers, they are made of glass. Both are made of glass, first point. And second point is both of them have a bulb at one end. Both of them have a bulb at one end. Third similarity is both of them contain mercury. Both of them contain mercury. Now these were the some similarities between the two. Now what are the differences between the two? So the differences are that clinical thermometer is comparatively small in size, whereas laboratory thermometer is some longer than clinical thermometer or bigger than clinical thermometer. Second difference is the range. Range, as I already explained you, range means the minimum and maximum temperature that can be taken or measured by the thermometer. So the range of clinical thermometer was 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, whereas the range of laboratory thermometer is minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. It means the minimum temperature that you can measure with the help of laboratory thermometer is minus 10 degrees Celsius, whereas the maximum temperature that you can measure with the help of laboratory thermometer is 110 degree Celsius. And here two important terms are there. One is called freezing point, another is boiling point. Freezing point means the temperature at which water freezes. It means liquid water is converted into solid form. That is, water is converted into ice at the temperature 0 degrees Celsius. So 0 degrees Celsius is called freezing point. Whereas the temperature at which water starts boiling, it means water is converted into vapor, that temperature is called boiling point of water. And boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. So these are three important points or readings. One is freezing point 0 degrees Celsius, one is boiling point 100 degrees Celsius, and the normal human body temperature 37 degrees Celsius. So these can be asked in exam also. Now, measuring temperature with a laboratory thermometer, as we already discussed how temperature is taken by clinical thermometer. So the same way how temperature is taken by laboratory thermometer, that we are going to see. So for this, one activity is given how we can take the reading on laboratory thermometer. So what you have to do, take some tap water in a beaker, dip the thermometer in the water so that the bulb of thermometer does not touch the bottom or sides of the beaker. Very important. It means the object whose temperature you want to measure, it should be dipped or touched in that particular thing only. Hold the thermometer vertically. It should not be slantly held. It should always be held vertical. The mercury level rises. It means when you will dip it inside that particular substance, the level of mercury will rise. Wait till the level of mercury becomes steady. It means initially you will find there will be fluctuation. It means you will see sometimes it is rising, sometimes it is falling. So you have to wait till it becomes steady. Note the level of mercury, means that when it becomes steady, that is the actual reading, and this will be the temperature of water. Now, as I told you, heat is actually transfer of energy. So heat flows from a body which is at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature. We already discussed direction. It means it always flow from high temperature to low temperature, and this flow continues till equilibrium condition is attained. It means when both the surfaces will have equal temperature, till that time heat will flow from one body to other body. So this transfer is done in three different ways. It means you can say heat is transferred in three different ways, modes by which heat can be transferred from one object to other is of three types. First is conduction. Second is convection. Again, I'm saying convection. And third mode is radiation. So let us see. First is conduction. So what is conduction? Conduction means the mode of transfer of heat in solids. It means in all solids, heat is transferred by the method of conduction, by the process of conduction. So in conduction, actually, heat is transferred from one particle to the next adjoining particle. So like this, from one end to next end, heat is transferred step by step. It means if you want to want to heat a rod made up of metal, or if you take a spoon made up of steel, if you heat it, you will find that all of a sudden it will not get heat up. It means slowly, first the end which is in direct contact with fire, it will get heat up, then slowly the area will increase and it will reach till other end. It means heat is transferred from one end to other end, or from one particle to next, then the adjoining, like this it keep on transferring till it reaches the ultimate end. And here, since we are talking about conduction, so there are two types of substances, and on the basis of transfer of heat, they can be classified or can be distinguished into two headings. One is conductors and other is insulators. Though I know you have studied this in class 6th also in chapter of electricity. So conductors are those materials which allow heat to pass through them easily, or those substances which allow heat to pass through them easily are called conductors. Example: iron, aluminium, copper, etc. Whereas those substances which do not allow heat to pass through them easily, they are called insulators. Example: wood, plastic, glass, rubber, air, etc. And this is the reason why you might have seen that all utensils like frying pan and your cooking utensils, those which contain tawa, those which contain handle, their handle is always covered either with wood or with bakelite or any plastic substances, because generally these utensils are made up of metals which are good conductor of heat. So if you will touch them, you may get burned. So to prevent or to avoid that, these handle are covered with insulators so that we will not get burned. Now the second mode of transfer of heat is called convection. This mode of heat transfer is seen in fluids. I'm using the word fluids. Fluid means liquid and gases both. It means in liquid and gases, heat is transferred by the method of convection. And what happens in this? In this actually, heat is transferred layer by layer. In case of conduction, if you remember, I told you heat is transferred from one particle to another particle. It means it is particle by particle, one end to another. Whereas in case of liquids and gases, it is layer by layer. Very simple activity. You can do it at home. Today itself you can do. What you will do? Keep a bucket full of water outside in sunlight. So what you will find that after 30 minutes, if you will dip your finger, you will find that the part which is above, or the level which is above, you can feel little warm. And if you will dip your finger down, so at the bottom of the bucket water will be cold. So after some more time, if you will see, you can see the variation. Now you will find that water to certain more depth has become warm, whereas at the bottom it is still cold. And same you can see in kitchen also. If your mother is making tea, when she boils water, you can see at the bottom, which is in contact with gas stove, you can see that that particular layer is hot and the top one is little less. So in that case, it is from bottom, it will come up. So layer by layer, first layer will get heat up, then the second layer, then third, then fourth. So this is convection. Yes, now important thing, or you can say application, the air near the heat source get heated and rise up. You must remember that warm air I always rises up. Warm air always rises up. And the air from the side move in to take its place. This way the air gets heated. And actually, if you have studied about winds formation, they are also formed in the same way. It means when there is high temperature at certain place, the air in that place gets heat up and it rises up. As a result of that, vacuum, or you can say space, blank space is generated over there, and that space is filled by the cold air which is heavier than the warm air, and it will take place of that particular blank or vacuum. So one more activity is there. If you keep one hand above a flame and one hand on the side of the flame, you can feel the difference. The hand that is at the top feels hot. Next topic is sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze. As the name suggests, sea, it means breeze. Breeze, you know, pleasant air, pleasant blowing air is called breeze. So when breeze is coming or wind is coming from sea, it is called sea breeze. Similarly, when wind is blowing from land, it is called land breeze. But how this takes place, how it happens, that we are going to discuss. During the day, the land gets heated faster than the sea. So, the air above the land gets heated, becomes hotter, and rises up. And the cool air from the sea moves towards the land. This is called sea breeze because land gets heat faster and it also gets cooled down faster, whereas heat capacity of water is more. It means water will take more time to get heat up and it will also take more time to get cool. That is why during night sea cools down slowly, whereas land it cools quickly or fastly. So the hot air above the sea rises up and cool air from the land moves towards the sea. This is called land breeze. And very simple, sea breeze means wind or air blowing from sea towards land, and land breeze means wind or air that is blowing from land towards sea. Now, third mode is radiation. Very, very important. It is the process by which heat is transferred from one medium to another or one place to another without help of any medium. First two cases, conduction, process of heat transfer in solid, whereas convection, process of heat transfer in fluids. Radiation is the process of heat transfer where there is no medium, no solid, no liquid, no gas. Example, the heat from the sun which reaches the earth is by the process of radiation. Now you may be asking why there is no medium, because atmosphere, universe, there is no medium. When we sit near a fire, we feel warm due to the heat radiated by the fire. All hot bodies radiate heat. Now, next important topic is dark colored surfaces absorb more heat than light colored surfaces. Very important and very interesting also, that all dark color surfaces, they absorb more heat, and this is the reason why we are advised to wear dark colored clothes in winter, because in winter we require more heat, whereas we are advised to wear light colored surfaces light colored clothes, not surfaces, light colored clothes during summers, because in summers we feel very hot. So light colored surfaces, they reflect back all the light that is falling on them. And this is the reason why you will see that in desert even houses are painted with light color, whereas in those places where temperature is low, there people go for or they prefer dark color. So dark color surfaces radiate more heat than light color surfaces. One activity is also there. This also you can do, taking two tin cans, one painted black and other without any paint. Then you can see the difference. The one which is painted with dark color will get heat up more quickly. And one more application is there, that if you have solar cookers, because in Gujarat we are using solar cooker, so you will see that in solar cooker the utensils that we are using, they are black painted, they are painted with black, so that they can radiate more heat and food can be cooked quickly. This I already told you, kinds of clothes we wear in summer and winter. So we should wear light color clothes in summer because it reflects most of the heat and keep us cool, whereas we should wear dark color clothes in winters because dark color absorb more heat and keep us warm. Then one more thing is there, in the previous chapter we studied about woolen clothes. So we wear woolen clothes in winter because wool is a poor conductor of heat, and the air in between the wool fiber prevent loss of heat from our body, so we feel warm. And one more thing is there, if you will drape or wrap clothes around you, it means two layered cloths, three layered cloths. If you are wearing layer of layer, it means those people who don't have woolen clothes, they can wrap layers of clothes around them to prevent from cold, because when they do so, in each layer air is trapped inside it, and we know that air is poor conductor of heat, it is an insulator, so their body temperature is maintained inside and there is no exchange of heat, because insulators, they prevent the loss or gain of heat. I hope now this chapter is clear to you, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. Keep learning,